There's no question about it. The good news is the Russians aren't interested in it. They don't want it. They never have. And what we interpreted as losses were not really significant at all at the beginning of the operation. It's simply that President Putin and the assumptions that he ordained for the military were inaccurate. He thought that he was going to go in with a small force, signal the seriousness with which Moscow takes our activities in Ukraine at the time, and that we would then say, oh, we need to stop this. This is a destructive war. Let's negotiate. And of course, he discovered quite the opposite. We were not only going to not negotiate, we were going to do everything in our power to destroy his country. We are now on the road to humiliation. That's the bottom line. We can't stop anything. And the $60 billion that Kurt Campbell mentioned is like taking a garden hose to a 5-alarm fire. Who are we kidding? It's a drop in the bucket. How much of it will ever get to Ukraine? Very little. How much of it will disappear into the corruption? Most of it. What doesn't go to Ukraine, which is more than half of it, will just circulate in Washington, make donors and constituents happy, and enrich the usual suspects in the defense industry and inside the Beltway. So it's just absurd. And he's an intelligent man. Kurt Campbell knows better. We want to add up the amounts of money invested in defense, and we want to look at the numbers of people in 32 countries that might serve in the military, but it's entirely meaningless. Russia has an enormous advantage. It's homogenous. It's raised at a sizable force, now well over 800,000 and climbing. It speaks one language of command. It has one unified military command structure. It has absolute unity of effort. None of that exists in NATO. Everyone is sort of a Band-Aid over its gaping wound of incompetence, inefficiency, and ill-equipped character. In other words, everyone plugs in or tries to plug into the United States and its force. Our force is now minuscule. We couldn't send anything to Europe to make any difference right now, and anything short of 6 months to a year if we were lucky. So we're in no position to confront the Russians anywhere in in Ukraine, period. And that's going to become very, very obvious in the months ahead when the Russian offensive sweeps out of its way whatever is in front of it. And we're going to watch, frankly, as we in Washington, our government, our people, our NATO alliance is humiliated and is revealed as impotent and irrelevant.